Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I wanted to show y'all how I put on my ring sling and how you're supposed to properly wrap the baby wrap so it's safe for baby and comfortable for mama. I also wanted to throw in my other two ways that I baby carry. I wanted to put those two baby carriers on here too and do kind of just an overall baby carrying review. So those two will be at the end, but first we're going to start off with the baby wrap and the ring sling. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the baby wrap. So I actually made this one. I have a video linked below if you want to see how I made it. I put a little marker on the center. It's literally just a piece of white fabric I just sewed over it, but this marks the very center. If you have a solid baby wrap or something like that, there's normally a tag right in the center that tells you what is the exact center part. So I take this part and I'm going to put it right across my chest. I'm going to gather each side in either hand. Now I have both sides like this. But you're going to do one at a time, making sure they are flat against your back and they're not twisted. Okay, so now I have both of my sides. You see how they're straight and they're fanned out. So I pulled them over. It's okay if this moves around, that's fine. Or I actually like to keep them over my shoulders so that I keep them pretty flat. So then you take these and I kind of just bring the bottom together and I open up this portion and I drop it down. And so they're still flat and you can see that they're not twisted or backwards, they're still flat. So once you get here, you take these and you cross them over your front, so you're making an X in the front, and then you can just tie it back here or you can bring it back forward and do a tie up here. Because I like to sit down with this wrap often, so this is just more comfortable for me and it doesn't bother my baby, so I just kind of tie a knot, leave it there. Yours might be longer. I made mine to where it wasn't super long. So you have two layers that are going across you, then you have this layer that has, remember, this piece is at the very top. So now you get your baby. Okay, now that I have her, first I'm gonna do the one that's closest to my chest. So this one is closer, as you can see, than this one. I'm going to hold her and I just pull the one closest to me. I put her leg through it and I cross it over her bum. You can also cross it over her arms if she's younger or your baby's younger. So then I'm gonna take this other portion, put the other leg under it and cross this side over her bum and her arms. So she's already pretty secure with that, but the last part is you're going to take that bigger piece that you started off with, stick both of her feet, but then I keep that under her bum, that bottom piece, and you pull up. And then you have your baby wrap. See how this doesn't really bother her? It's below her. Can you say hey? And then I have a very easy flat back so I can lean up against things. There's no twist or anything. And then if they're newborn baby, you can bring their legs all the way in and tuck in their legs completely, but she's bigger, so I'm just doing an M shape. But for newborn, you can tuck in their little legs and feet, but you do want to make sure they're always in like a froggy position and their legs are comfortable. So sometimes if I'm wearing like a shirt like this, I just do these pieces up, and because it's summertime, that's a lot cooler. Yeah, that's a lot cooler. So yeah, this is how I wear the baby wrap. I'll also explain how I take her out. I just pretty much undo the same thing. Take her legs out of the big portion. I do one at a time to make it easier on me. Yeah, oh my goodness, that's so sweet. And then I do the same thing, one leg at a time out of this. And it's very simple. I just always have a good grip on her bum. And there we go. He's ready to play. Next is this ring sling. I actually made this one as well. I'll link the tutorial I used to make this. It was really simple. This is probably my most used one. So what I do is I start out and I just make sure it's fanned out is I have a seam on the inside right here where the fabric comes over. I like this to be on the inside of me. What you do first is I take it back here. Make sure you already know which shoulder you're gonna put it on. So I'm gonna make sure fabric is flat along my back, and I gather it at the bottom, keeping it still flat, and I take the full piece completely through the ring, and it's flat. As you can see, this is my top barrel and it still goes through. This is my bottom barrel and it's on this side. This is the side I'm choosing to wear her on. So I'm gonna move this up. So next what you're gonna do, it's fanned out. You're gonna take it again, lift that first ring and put it through the second ring, still flat. Okay? So then you have this. Then what you're gonna do is the fabric that is in between, I like to pull it out and make sure it's completely stretched out. So each end of the barrel, so the end of the fabric are still on the ends. It's not all bunched up, tied together. So you kind of just spread out the fabric and then I slowly pull and just kind of make sure that's weaved through and pretty. The edges on the fabric are still on the end. If you lift this up, it loosens your fabric. I like to stick my elbow in. If you lift this side up here, it's going to loosen this part. So I lift this part and I pull the top of the fabric out. So then my baby has like a seat, like my elbow is like your baby's bum. And now they have a seat, but I like to keep this bottom barrel more tight and I can adjust that as she's in the ring sling. Okay, so now that I kind of just made a little pocket and seat for my baby, I'm gonna get her and show you how I put her in this. Ready? So I just hold her. She's checking everything out right now. So I just put my baby's legs through and then I make sure there's a little seat. I like to encourage and bend her legs. Make sure your fabric is across your shoulder. That helps distribute the weight of the baby. And it's a little tight, so I'm gonna loosen it just a little. So I loosen this top piece to loosen the top barrel, and I tuck her arms and she's sleeping. And then if you want to tighten the top, you just pull this again. So like I said, her bum is supported, her knees are bent and high. If you want this portion tightened, you pull at this side and you pull out and down. If you want this part tightened, you pull across and down. And there we go. That's how you do your ring sling. This one is honestly my favorite. It's so easy. She loved it. She fit in it great as a newborn, and she's 7 months now, and she fits in it perfectly now. Whoa, what a big yawn. And she likes it too because she can put her little arm out. She can stick her little arm out and she really likes that. Normally I do like to pull this up before I stick her in it. I didn't do that this time, but it's not super low. Because you want to start with this as high as you can, because as you pull and tug, the ring is going to slowly go down lower. So normally I would like to have it a little bit higher than this. I would like to be more up here, but it still works fine for how I'm wearing her right now. Another thing I like to do is if you have a smaller baby and they're falling asleep on you and you don't want them laying against these rings, what you can do is I wrap the fabric around the ring that they have more comfort right here against your ring. If you want them to have a good little neck rest, what you can do is take this and you twist it up and you wrap this piece around. Then they have a little neck support for if they fall asleep. Say they fall asleep with their head back or something, they have a little bit more support in that top area. That's why I like the ring sling so much, because there's so many different ways you can use it. Yeah. There's so many different ways you can use it, and there's so many different positions for comfort for them. But that was a tip. I used this all the time when she was younger. So then just to take her out, I undo all of that and I just lift her bum. and I loosen the fabric. Oh my goodness. Then you just lift them out and they're ready to go. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to this other carrier. This is a very inexpensive one. I think this carrier was $25. I use this in the house. I use this at the grocery store. When she was an infant, like a newborn, and I had to go do a lot of groceries at one time, this was the one that I went for. I loved it. It was so easy. It kept her snug. There wasn't a bunch of buckles. It's literally 2 buckles. So it's really simple. I love that it's a neutral color. I don't love this orange, even though I'm wearing orange pants, but I just don't love this kind of orange, but it's fine because nobody really ever sees that part anyways. I don't know which carrier it is, but I'll put the name here. I know it's an Evenflo. So what you do is you just take this bottom strap, click it on, and then the only other part you have is this top clip that you do when you put it on. So what you're gonna do, just put her leg in, put one side in, and I put the other leg in, make sure it's up, put this in. Then once I get up here, if it's tall enough, high enough, I can clip it, and there we go. And I just kind of move her down. Then we have this simple carrier. I've gone on a hike with her in this. We go to the grocery store in this. We use this a lot. It's a very simple, easy carrier. It has simple adjustments right here to tighten this part. Did you drop your passy? Then there's an adjustment right here to tighten this back part. So I really like how simple and quickly I can switch this out. Great for when you have a newborn and need to go to the grocery store. I pop her in this, and I actually have a fanny pack that I wear where it's down here, and then I can just have my keys, my wallet, and my phone in the fanny pack, and then her here, go to the store, go home. Super easy. Look, she loves this one. Do you love it? Do you love it? Do you love it? Yeah. Then just to get her out, I just reach back here, unsnap it. Then I pull each side down. Hi. Hi. She always gets so snug in these. Okay, so this next one, it's kind of the same as that one. I did buy this one first, secondhand on Marketplace. I bought it for $5. And this originally was Chip's carrier so that he could have one. It's just this charcoal gray. He wanted a really simple one, or actually he didn't even really want one. I got this for him thinking he might want it. He's used it a few times, but I actually use it more. When she gets bigger, she's definitely going to use this more because this is a backwards and frontwards facing kind of carrier. So right now she is only facing me. I just don't feel like she's ready yet to move forward, and it's better for their little hips and everything to be facing back as much as possible. This one does have more clips. It looks more confusing, but I do really like it. This one is the Infantino. You can get these from Target, I think, for like $20 or even less. Look on Facebook Marketplace first because I got this for $5. And then I just washed it and hung it up to dry and we were good. So what you're gonna do is you always start with the bottom part, clip this bottom portion. It has these straps and it's the same deal. It has this little clip. Okay, once you put the straps on, then you just clip this back piece. So then you have this flap up here. So what I do before I put her in it, you've got 4 clips. You've got 2 large on the side and then 2 up here. So I clip just 1 large one and I leave everything else out. So then what I do is I put her foot in the bottom one and then I clip this other big one and then I clip these smaller ones at the top. Yep, so then you just have these 2 clips that each have fasteners for each strap. This one is really good support for your back. If you have a very sensitive back, this one is very nice because all of her weight is on these straps, and somehow she feels lighter in this one than the Evenflo one, but it somehow distributes her weight better. And so if it's a very long period of time, I do prefer this one. And she can kick her little legs in this one. Her legs are out, they don't have to be in that M shape. Her arms can come out here if she wants them to, and she's able to fully move her head around. So she really likes this one too because it has these straps up here she can play with. So now I've kind of switched to using this one a lot more in the grocery store and when we're out. But this one's a really quick and easy. It does have 4 clips, so it does take like a few more seconds to put on, but it's a really good carrier too. I think all these carriers are good. I think they're awesome for different things that you want to do. If you want to go out and be comfortable, definitely either of these 2 carriers are great, especially if they're bigger. These have a little bit more freedom for them if they're a little squirmy. But my all-time favorite is the Ring Sling. I've used it since she was a newborn, and I will probably use it until she's like 2 years old. It's just very versatile. It's definitely harder to put on. These are a lot quicker and easier to put on. Are you chewing on this strap? Yeah, those are all of my carriers and what I think of them. I use all 4 of them all the time. Yeah, I just wanted to show y'all how I wear them, when I wear them, and kind of what I think about each one. I'm definitely a baby carrying mom. I love it so much. I think it's just been a really sweet bonding part of motherhood, for sure. You wanna say goodbye? Thank you so much for coming to my channel and watching this video. But that's what I think of all of my wraps. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this was a better understanding of how to wear a ring sling and a wrap and just normal baby carriers. Thank you so much for coming and watching, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye.